anatomy students, so I just wanted to make a short video explaining the disease disorder project that is your virtual final exam for this semester. So seniors, you do not have to complete a final exam, but you can do an optional one if you want. So the reason why you might want to do an optional final is if you're still interested in improving your grade, this would be a great way to do this. And then sophomores and juniors, you must complete a final exam. You just have two choices. You could either do this disease disorder project, or you could check the other folder in Schoology on a career research project website you could do as well. So for the disease disorder project, this is the typical project we do at the end of anatomy. The only difference is this year it's going to be a virtual presentation instead of one that would be done in class. This will also be by an individual assignment. You will not be working in a group for this. So the first thing you'll probably want to do is go into Schoology, and there is a spreadsheet where you can sign up for a disease. So I'm going to show you guys that now. So this link is in there, and there's a spreadsheet with a bunch of homeostatic imbalances, as we call them. So different, diseases, disorders, or just homeostatic imbalances. So on the sign up sheet, you just put your name and a period. The reason why we do this is because I don't want to read, 15 heart disease presentations. So this helps make sure everybody's doing something different. This is not an all-inclusive list. So if there's something that you want to look into and study that is not on that list, feel free to just send me an email and ask me if it's okay. Okay, so once you decided what disease or disorder or homeostatic imbalance you want to focus on, and you sign up in the spreadsheet, you then probably want to download this file, which is in Schoology. So this will give you the information about what should be in your virtual presentation, and then there's a rubric on the second page. So I'm just going to walk you through what I expect. I'm not going to read the whole rubric to you because I know you guys can read. So let's see. Let's learn a little bit about the presentation. So first, this is a virtual presentation. So I'm going to kind of leave it up to you as to what that means to you. Whatever method you want to choose to deliver the information, or whatever app you want to choose to use, I'm going to leave it up to you, but it must contain the following things. So it must have your voice explaining the content. So if you want to film that live, if you're more of a creative person and you want to film a fake newscast or a fake PSA about that homeostatic imbalance, that's fine. If you would rather do a more like a virtual slideshow, kind of like I make, I use the app called Explain Everything. So that's something you can also do. If you want to use your computer, if you want to do something like I'm doing right now with the information and like a little picture of yourself presenting, you could do that as well. I'm actually using a laptop though, and this is called Screencastify, so I'm not sure if you could do this on an iPad. So whatever way you want to deliver it, your voice explaining the content though has to be in it. You want to have great visuals, whether those are pictures that are in a slideshow or if you are holding up pictures in a live presentation, whatever visuals, or however you want to deliver the visuals, they have to be good and make sure to enhance your presentation. And then they have to, your presentations have to have all the necessary components below. So you got two parts. Part A is going to be a presentation about the content. So, what is this disease, disorder, homeostatic imbalance? So you're going to talk about the progression of symptoms first. So from the onset to the diagnosis, to the treatment, all the progression of symptoms along the way. All the body systems that are involved in the imbalance from onset, the prognosis. So this would be the survival rate of the individual, treatments that are available for that disease, disorder, or homeostatic imbalance. Then you're going to go through what a day in the life would be with a person with that disease disorder. Is their daily life affected or not? And then you're going to give me 3 common misconceptions. So you're going to look for 3 things that maybe the general population might think about that disease disorder, but might be wrong. And then you're going to include a 30 to 90 second video clip, not that you made yourself, but something you can find on YouTube or on the internet, enhancing the understanding of your homeostatic imbalance. So if this is an animation or maybe like a WebMD clip, or maybe it is like um, a virtual demonstration of a surgical procedure, like I do a lot in our notes, something you cannot do yourself. That's what that video clip is going to be. You do not have to have every word you say written in text in your presentation. So you could just be speaking and have pictures that are enhancing what you're saying. You do not have to have every word typed out for me. And it should still be very well rehearsed. So even though you're not doing it live, you should maybe rehearse it, maybe practice it, maybe have some flashcards as you're doing it. So it's a nice seamless presentation, and it's easy for me to follow. Okay, next let's talk about part B of your disease disorder project. So for part B, you're going to find 2 to 3 careers that are in some way related to this disease. So it could be a specific type of doctor that works with patients with this disease disorder. It could be a specific type of nurse, but I want you to also think outside of the box. It doesn't have to necessarily be a doctor or nurse. Any kind of career in the medical field that may at some point interact with and help with a patient with this disease or disorder. Please be more specific than just simply saying a doctor or a nurse. What type of doctor? Or is there a specific type of nurse that's working with patients? And then what roles do these individuals in these careers fill for a person with this disease disorder? And think about all points of the disease and disorder, from diagnosis all the way, through treatment. So next we'll just talk about when this is due. It depends. If you're a senior, this is due May 15th, which is your last day. Now remember, for seniors, this is optional this year. So this is only going to be done for seniors if you want to improve your grade. Underclassmen, sophomores, and juniors, this is due the day of your final. Okay, I already mentioned that you're going to sign up in the Google spreadsheet that I just showed you. And if you're interested in something that's not on there, make sure you ask me. And then for your sources, you could just have those submitted maybe at the end of your virtual presentation, or if you'd rather, if it doesn't work for your presentation, you could just submit it with a separate file. I don't require any type of specific format for your bibliography. You could just give me the websites that you use would be fine. All right, on the next 2 pages, you'll see the rubric for the project. So in blue, you'll see the content rubric. So that goes through all the criteria we just talked about, and it shows the point progressions. And then you'll notice that careers, it says triple points. So that part's a little more heavily weighted than the other components. And then on the last page, you'll see the presentation skills. So you'll see that the different components, making sure your presentation is organized, easy to hear, creative. Also give you some points for editing, so making sure your transitions are smooth. And again, if you just rehearse a few times or you do a couple of takes if you have to, that's all I'm looking for. And then your sources down there. So if you have any questions when you look through the rubric, or if you look through this presentation, don't hesitate to email me. Thanks.